Outlaw Radio.
Better late than never.
Yes, sir.
Finally. Get a little something going.
What's up, people?
Getting ready to get this thing started off. All right.
What's up, Sprecher?
What up, everybody? Better late than never, man. Trying to get this thing kicked off, man.
Say CPT.
Hey, it's basketball season, right? My son got me going.
Hey. Who is this, man?
That is King's son.
King's son. I would have guessed, but I
Righteous
be
but
wrong.
ruthless.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody watching. See you, Timothy. I see you, Touchdown. I see you, bro. Trying to get it done, man. Hey, share this live, y'all. Is that me or you?
I just turned everything down for me. It's for you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah. Should have known.
Said turn up for Chi-Town. Too much love and support from here, cuz. Oh, yes, sir. I got a lot of family in the Chi-Town. A lot of family, man. A lot of love. I get a lot of love from down there.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Damn.
Let everybody get in, man. I got the theme music playing because we're also live on our Spreaker page. So, you know. He said, turn up for the Wildcats. You already know, Touchdown. Come on, man. You know how we get down. It's time for the 414 to represent, man. Let everybody know. 3041 Outlaw Radio. You got to let that theme music play out on the Spreaker page.
Yeah.
Or it ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I love it.
So people say, what they waiting on? What they waiting on? Man, I see you, Timothy, man. Much love and respect to you, man. Shout out to D-Tron. Mississippi down there representing, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
We'll be coming in a few minutes, y'all. All right. Little King's son. They can't hear the music on the live, but the Spreaker people can hear it. Yeah. So, you know, I used to dig this King Son. King Son's about 6'5".
I just remember one video of his. I
This is an undercover lover, probably.
It was one of them that was
Yeah.
on BET or MTV. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
What's up, Frage? I see you, man. Let's get this thing done tonight, y'all. Oh, yeah, man. Big Bob always. Hey, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Get my fade on. All right, man. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Let me fade this music out on Spreaker. Here we go, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio. Ain't no love on a Thursday night, man. It's your boy, the world-class smartass. I'm in the building, man, and it's time to get it done. It's time to put some paint where it ain't, man, to talk about the things that matter to Black people and specifically to Black men. And that's what we do on Outlaw Radio.
All right.
So everybody that's watching, please feel free to chime in. If you all want to be heard, I do have a phone line that I can connect. But, let me know if you disagree, if you agree, it is what it is. Shout out to Black Convo Connects. My brother Ram, what's good with you, bro? Salam alaikum.
Right.
As they say, I'm not alone. I got my co-host here with me. He a little off on the YouTube, come left a little bit. I don't want to be close to you either.
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
Tell the people who you are, man.
Brother, talk to teach, listen to learn your truth, transfer engineer here on Outlaw Radio. We alive and well, ain't in jail.
Right.
We still got a chance.
Every day above ground is a good one, man. You blessed to see the next sunset and the next sunrise. And we as older men, we understand that. So, other people, youngsters don't understand that, but that is what getting older is all about. You get the wisdom. They always say, the youth got the energy to walk to make the path, to make the trip, but the older, the elders, they got the directions.
Yeah, they know how to get there.
Right, so they can tell you how to get there, man.
Both.
So welcome to the show, man. It ain't no love. No love in the city, ain't no love in the heart of town, as they say. It's a very significant show. We lost some people this week, and in particular, the elephant in the room is us losing the brother Nipsey Hussle. But I gotta say this for my city and for my neighborhood. I want to say rest in peace to Lawrence Fat Man Hennings, who I grew up with the Hennings family. His brother Montreal, who passed last year, was actually my first best friend growing up. We did all of that crazy stuff as little kids. He passed last year. Big Larry, who's the father, Larry Henning, passed, like 6 months after Trail, and then Fat Man passed today, man. And he was an OG in the neighborhood. He was a real dude, a stand-up cat. And he passed away, man. So, it's condolences to Mrs. Henning. And I know she's going through hell right now, just losing both of her sons. And we all are, because losing Fat Man is a loss for the community. So I wanted to say rest in peace to Fat Man, no doubt. T's and F's for life, bro. And you already know what that is, man. And everybody from the mill knows what that is. This is the 414's imprint. We are simulcasting as usual. We're live on Facebook. Yeah. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Spreaker. So we got like all these screens in front of us, and Jason is like, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, I have to close my eyes or I get dizzy.
Technology is a son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, when it works.
So shout out to you if you're listening, man. It ain't no love now. Of course, we know that the biggest thing that happened this week is the tragic murder of Nipsey Hussle, the rapper Nipsey Hussle, in Los Angeles, California. Just a polarizing death for Black people, Black America, and in particular hip hop, right? So I like to pride myself as the hip hop snob, in which I talk about hip hop from a perspective of us old cats, right? Like the cats who brought it in. And I wanted to examine Nipsey tonight, and I want to talk about Nipsey passing. And of course, we know it's a tremendous loss. This is where the youngsters who always doubt and deny who or what we are, like they try to tell us how old we are and why we should leave the culture alone and this kind of thing. But see, I was there. I was alive. I almost said I was there. I was alive when Tupac passed.
All right.
I remember the shock of Tupac. I remember
Right.
the immediate loss of Tupac.
Mhm.
I remember how much it hurt us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When
Mhm.
Tupac left, and I remember the void that it left in rap music. So youngsters can learn something because Nipsey Hussle was part of this culture in a more important way, in a way that was bigger than music,
Right.
because of his contributions to his neighborhood, to his community, what he meant as a black man
Example.
in terms of what we should be doing and how we
Absolutely.
should be moving.
Example.
Right.
Right.
So losing Nipsey Hussle was tragic, man. And the way he went out is just ridiculous, man. So I wanted to talk about that tonight.
Right.
I want y'all to chime in and let me know how y'all feel, whatever topics you all want to discuss. For those of you who say, well, we don't care about Nipsey Hussle, it's too much other stuff going on. I think you have to care about Nipsey Hussle.
That is some of the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Because here once again, a black man's life allegedly was taken by another black man, a very important black man. And his life was taken by another black man, allegedly.
Minus any hidden hand.
Well,
Right.
we don't know yet. And see, that's where I want to go. Shout out to 3041 North.
Shout out.
Mr. Terry down at 3041 North doing his thing. Milwaukee's only urban country club.
Right.
Hit like, hit share, hit follow. Give me thumbs up, give me hearts, give me all that love. Thugs need hugs. Capitol Drive thugs really need hugs. But no, you know, the definitive information has yet to be released, right?
Right.
So there's a theory, I should say, that Nipsey was taken out via some sort of conspiracy.
Right.
Right. Now, me personally, before we even get rolling, I want to say I don't believe it was a conspiracy.
Yeah, I figured that would be
right. I don't. Yeah, you know that.
Right.
You know that. You know how I get down. I don't believe it was a conspiracy at all. And I know some of you all have varying opinions. I wanted to throw this out there early in the show. I don't believe it was a conspiracy about Dr. Sebi or Sebi. What is it? Sebi. I don't believe it was a conspiracy about Dr. Sebi. I really don't. Some people out there might say, well, you're a fool. Whatever. Your mama. Whatever. Like, no, I'm bullshit. No. Some people might say
I ain't.
Some people may say, well, Kev, how can you not believe that this is a conspiracy? Well, because I'm not one. First of all, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't blame everything on conspiracies. And I really don't think the white man got to do anything to us that we ain't already doing ourselves.
So do conspiracies exist?
I think there have been some very deep conspiracies committed towards black people. I don't think you can deny COINTELPRO. I don't think you can deny that there was some heavier involvement in Dr. Martin Luther King's death or Malcolm's death or Medgar Evers or Fred Hampton. We know that COINTELPRO had a dirty hand, the Memphis Mafia. We know that Fred Hampton's main man was an informant who gave the house plan, the layouts to the feds.
Keep going. You could keep going.
I could.
I could. And each and every one of those things that you named at the time, what do you think the news was reporting? The information that you're getting, what do you think that information was? And for those who said it was a conspiracy happening at that time,
right.
How ridiculous did they sound as well?
Right.
Right.
Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you think this was a conspiracy. I really don't. And like I hear people talk about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi died under some mysterious some conditions, but he was 82.
He was one of 50 holistic healers that died in a year.
Yeah, and he was 82 and he died of pneumonia.
The other ones weren't 82, and it was 50 of them.
Oh, we talking about him. Calm down. Calm down.
Well, what do you mean? Calm down.
He can't take black people nowhere.
I'm just trying to tell him.
Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio. Ain't no love. Rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to Lawrence Fat Man Henning, my foe who passed today, man. Much love to you and you and Trail, man, up there, and Big Larry. And you just reflect when something like this happens. You reflect on all the people we've lost, right? You reflect on all of the cats you knew who really could have been something in the neighborhood, who really maybe had good intentions. Oh man, he helped everybody. He looked out. He give you the shirt off his back. But let's be honest about the large percentage of us who died by us, right? I believe in accountability, so bear with me. Don't get upset because I'm going to say it. Some of you are going to be pissed off tonight as far as my opinion on what happened to Nipsey, what happened to Tupac, what happened to who else was murdered? even like Big L, the rapper Big L in Harlem, like and Biggie Smalls, like yeah, black men who are vocal, black men who choose to take a stand, black men who really want to stand for something. More often than not, there is some sort of undercover, some undercover adversaries that want to really, do something to them, right?
At least you acknowledge that.
Right. No, I would never. I'm not, first of all, I'm not stupid.
Okay.
I'm not stupid at all.
No,
right. No.
I don't think.
No. Sure. So no. And I would never dismiss the systematic nature of what happens to us.
Right.
I never would. Okay. My thing is just, I don't think we can blame everything on conspiracies.
So what can we blame on conspiracy?
Well, we just talked about it. Like, we know that there were certain conspiracies.
So we have to wait 50 years after the fact in order to determine whether something ain't right while it's happening?
What about Nipsey Hussle's death makes you think it was a conspiracy?
Well, you know what? It gets to the point where I know you got kids, and you tell me if you've ever said this.
Them ain't my kids. I'm playing. They're my babies. Go ahead.
You get on one of your kids for doing something, and you find out later that they didn't do it. And you feel bad, but you can't go back and so you tell them, you know what? Think about all those times that you did it, right? And you got away with it, and put it in that basket.
Right, it was justice.
Right? So at some point or another, before we get into the forensic files of this particular situation, one of those times you got away with it, some things get to be coincidental, too coincidental to be coincidence. Excuse me.
Okay.
So after it happened so many times, we know the game plan. We've seen it happen before.
Let me know how y'all feel out there. Let me know if y'all think it was a conspiracy. Tell me if I'm wrong when I'm saying, like, I hear black people saying, the government killed Tupac. Tupac was killed by a Southside Crip from Compton. And there's those who say, nah, man, that's some bull. Well, no, it wasn't. Tupac put his nose in some business that he shouldn't have put it in.
Who killed Malcolm?
Now with Malcolm, now there's a conspiracy.
So they did MLK and they did Malcolm and they just stopped.
Well, look at if you're gonna say Nipsey had the same impact as Malcolm or Martin, I don't think Nipsey Hussle had the same impact as Malcolm or Martin.
I don't think they're gonna wait that long anymore. When you talked about J. Edgar Hoover and they asked him what the biggest threat was, he said black unity.
I mean,
so they nipping that in the bud beforehand. They go get them way before then. They don't let it get to that point.
But there's so many variables in Malcolm when it comes to the Nation of Islam and it comes to the federal government. There's some strange bedfellows there that have to be examined. There's moving parts. With Martin Luther King, there's his coming out against the Vietnam War, and we know that this is when J. Edgar Hoover was alive.
Well, we know that they will hire black people to kill black people.
Come and kill black people.
So you know, in court, like if there was a mafia situation or something like that, do you know the person who put the hit out, not just the person who executed the hit, is culpable as well?
Let's look at how Nipsey was murdered, y'all. And once again, rest in peace to my man, Lawrence Fat Man Henning. I can't say it enough times. It's so sad that this brother's gone. And this is a brother who I knew from just knee high to a flea, man. Who his brother and myself, rest in peace to Trail too. We come up, man. We was like peas in a pod, man. And that was my boy. His mom used to take me everywhere with them and with Trail, and we would go to malls. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons from Fat Man, coming up, just as a youngster. So, my heart is heavy because I seen that he was sick, and sometimes you just say, well, I don't want to even look again on Facebook because I don't want to hear that he's gone. So, rest in peace to him, man. And that brother, man, his influence can't be denied, man. This is one of my original homies. I don't want to just keep going to Nipsey and going to Martin and Malcolm and not acknowledge Fat Man being gone. I do not want to do that at all.
Real
so
talk.
I just want to make sure I keep throwing that in throughout the show.
Yes.
Because actually I dedicated this show to the memory of Lawrence Fat Man Henning, man.
Okay.
And that brother got a lot of love. Fat Man had a lot of love. And Fat Man's from my neighborhood. And the similarities is where we're from wasn't necessarily connected, and we kind of transcended.
Right.
He did it before me, where he went from where they were at and just connected to all the hoods around, man.
Right.
And just like I said, man, shout out to him, man. I see you, DeAndre Love. I see all y'all, man. Y'all holler at me, man. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. I want to get back on this Nipsey Hussle thing, man.
All right.
Because I got mad at black people this week, man. And if you are not a member of my Facebook group, the People's News Network, please join. And I can add you. Just let me know you want, because I add people and they'll take themselves out. That shit makes me mad. So I'll be like, you know,
when they read that gets pissed off about
like,
something.
I know it was 484 people yesterday. So, you know, let me know, man. But we talked about this, man. We talked about this in the 414 Freedom, or I'm sorry, I changed the name. The People's News Network. It used to be the 414 Freedom Gang. But I talked about it because I don't believe this to be a conspiracy. Now, my brother does. And I just asked you to tell me what about Nipsey's murder made you think, and I'm just talking about Nipsey. I don't want to refer to Malcolm. I don't want to go back. Just Nipsey's murder in particular. What made you think that this was a government conspiracy?
Well, for me, you can't exclude the rest, because my whole premise is it's a pattern.
Okay.
Right. And so when you see red, black, green, red, black, green, red, black, green, red, black, after a while, you know it's green based on the things that have already happened. So I can't exclude that. We've seen this, it's in their playbook. You know what I mean? So especially with a brother that's doing good, or that is some sort of threat, that could be some sort of black messiah, as they used to call him. And again, with the Gay Edgar Hoover thing. So again, it's too familiar.
Do you really believe?
It's just too familiar.
Do you really believe that his impact was that great, that the government would feel because to murder a man is to make him a martyr and kind of create a spirit of his activism? So I'm saying, like, to murk Nipsey, that means you make 1 million more Nipseys, as opposed to just going at them with some tax shit and just playing. You know, he had businesses, he had money.
So what we saw was 1 million more Martins, and 1 million more Malcolms, and 1 million more Hueys, and 1 million. Is that what we see when we go outside?
Well, I think we did, but you got to watch. You have to watch Bastards of the Party. Have you ever seen Bastards of the Party?
You know what? No, not the whole thing.
Okay.
You referred me to it before. Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, if you watch Bastards of the Party by Claiborne Sloan,
okay,
in which, you know, our black leaders were systematically murdered, wiped out. We know that. The 60s speaks for itself.
Conspiracy.
Right. And then you see Fred Hampton, and I say this all the time. Had Fred Hampton not been murdered, Chicago would be a different place today.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see Bastards of the Party, those murders did create 1,000 more Malcolms, 1,000 more Martins, but they became Crips and Bloods. They became vice lords and folks. They became gangsters, and they became
very manageable.
But then you drop crack cocaine in the neighborhood, and they become dope fiends, and they become dope dealers, and then mass incarceration. So it did create them.
So they're not. So at this point, they know how to deal with that, suppress it, right, and conquer it. So they're not really concerned with any martyrs at this point. I mean, we so disorganized within ourselves. What are we going to do?
Right,
totally dependent on him in every way.
So even if they say right now, yeah, I did it, what you gonna do?
I mean, ain't that what happens? We'll find out something, right?
What are black people gonna do about it?
What are they gonna? They're gonna boycott? Nah,
right?
Probably not.
Well, the police already destroyed the candles and the memorial for Nip, so you know.
You see what I'm saying? Right. And really, what are black people gonna do?
Right. What you gonna do about it? Right. Are you gonna now start raising your children? Are you gonna now start cleaning up your community? Are you going to
support one another?
Stay away from the jails? Are you going to understand that this is a circle that looks like a straight line and you need to stop following it?
I mean, what's up?
I don't know. You know, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling black people. We're so quick to jump on what's a conspiracy that we've taken our accountability out of it. Like, what about the fact that first of all, if the government, somebody tell me this brother was sent by the government, you know, after all this time, after watching what happened to Fred Hampton, watching what happened to Martin and Malcolm, and knowing that this is possible to use a black man to kill another black man,
real easy.
Why are we not smarter? Why was it they said the guy who they have? Okay, the guy who they have right now.
Smarter in what way?
Well, I'm saying why are we so susceptible to the same tricks? Because if this dude, they call him Shitty Loke or whatever his name is, and it's crazy that that's his name, right?
Right.
Whatever that is, right? If like, how can he be that stupid? Like, how could you? Because that's the same trap that we've always fallen into. That's what I'm saying. This is so random. He knew that he was able to get close to Nipsey, and he used that. And supposedly, he had been to jail and cooperated with law enforcement. He was told he was no longer welcome by the store because he was a snitch. This is all alleged. I'm not a lawyer.
I'm listening.
So I'm saying he was able to get up to this man, shoot him, come back, shoot him in the head, and then kick him in the head, and then flee the scene.
And nobody shot back.
Nobody shot back or anything.
No.
Now, if it was like people said it was a military style hit, I ain't never knew the military to go back and kick the dude in the head. Now, I ain't been on no military raids either, so I'm not.
Not lately.
Right. It's been a while since I did my Green Beret thing. Right. Right. He said, goodbye. So let me know, man, if y'all think this was. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a Black people accountability theorist. I think Black people need to be more accountable for their behavior. Look, first of all, we should not be so willing to shoot, maim, kill, rob, and steal.
How many people do you know that cannot be compromised? Now you might have some people that ideally say that situation, but if it's about their children, or if it's about that person's wife or that person's mother, and you know what, you do this or else, how many people cannot be compromised?
I'm gonna get to your question. Let me see. Aaron Brown says saying the government did not do it or did do it is far-fetched, but the capability of the government doing it is not. No, the government can do it.
Good point.
The government, of course, so then that means when I find some dog shit on my grass, it was a government dog that did it, because the government has dogs that they can train to strategically shit on your grass.
The truth is probably a little bit more in the middle.
Got nothing to do with dog shit, right?
I get your point, though.
I'm like, listen, of course we know the government is capable of something like
and
this.
And they have a history of it. We can't leave that out.
I'm just saying, in this situation, I don't think that's what happened.
You know what? Again, I don't disbelieve it.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Okay.
I'm not 100% for it. Like, I have the facts, but here, my grandmother used to say something. She used to say, from the mouth of a liar, even the truth is in question.
Okay.
So even though you have facts that may support something this way or that way, where did you get the facts from? You got it from a liar.
Right.
So if it's the truth, it still should be questioned.
Right. And you have these amazing, like, old school sayings, and you do. You have quotables and all this kind of shit. I'm just saying, I want somebody, even if you out there listening, because I'd like to hear what you all have to say as well. Our show is interactive, and that's why we go live on so many different platforms. Our show is interactive, man. You can chime in, all you want. There's no such thing as a wrong opinion as far as I'm concerned.
We listen to learn too.
Right. But I just believe that this was just the latest example of self-hate. And our biggest problem in this world is self-hate. I've said that a million times. I believe until we deal with self-hate and establish accountability and establish the correct economic avenues in our community, I think we're going to forever lose, and we'll always kill each other. It can be a brother who means to do all the greatest shit in the world for the neighborhood. And there'll be one dude sitting on the sideline like, I don't like dude, man. My baby mama said he, you know what I'm saying? So you end up with this brother getting killed.
COINTELPRO is real.
COINTELPRO is real.
They didn't retire.
My homeboy Kobe Lloyd, shout out to Kobe Lloyd. He said the government set the stage. Please elaborate on that, Kobe. I mean, once again, you know what? Where's my phone? The phone number.
I don't know.
I see it. The phone number is 414-231-9982. 414-231-9982. If you want to call in and tell me how the government set the stage for this, if you want to call in and tell me why I'm wrong about saying this wasn't just another salty, sad, hater-ass, self-hating loser of a Negro shooting a positive, progressive Negro, call in and let me know. Let me go and get the phone. I'm going to go get the phone that we normally use for the show. So, it's your show, bro. Go ahead.
So you're talking about the government set the stage. And the brother over here talked about self-hate being the thing that we need to get over. So at some point, even if you're going to talk about the government being responsible for the self-hate, I mean, you can't listen to a rap song or a country song or a rock and roll song about killing gays or killing Jews, but it is acceptable. It will get approved by the record labels and the record companies, and it'll go platinum about killing a nigga.
Right.
So, I mean, at the very least, you talk about accountability. Who's accountable for that? Is brothers not owning the record labels? They don't own the radio stations. They not, you know what I'm saying? So who's accountable for that? Because everything is cause and effect.
Okay, let's talk about the hood. All right, let's talk about the neighborhoods that we grow up in. And once again, everything that I say is my opinion, right? The opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at, right?
Yeah.
But like, I hear people saying, let's stop moving out the hood and buy up the hood. The reality of it, the reality of this is if I live in the neighborhood and I got money, I'm probably gonna get robbed. If I have a store and especially here in Milwaukee, we know in Milwaukee eats its young on a daily basis.
Milwaukee's a bad example.
Milwaukee, but this is where we're at. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead, keep it a buck with the people.
Come on, do it then.
Especially here in Milwaukee, I can establish some sort of business, here, and it'll get broken into. I gotta watch my shit when I come out because I'm probably gonna be a target for somebody to rob me. There's all kinds of crazy situations that I gotta avoid just from trying to live in the hood. If I come off and I sound people say, well, Kev Raccoon, you have the right to your opinion.
Here, you won't deny it.
Well, I don't give a shit. That doesn't bother me. I'm not sensitive like that because I know who I am.
I'm just clouded.
No. I know who I am. It don't bother me. Listen, I get some bread and I start moving forward in life. I want better. I thought the object was to do better. So if things start to happen for me and I can move a little bit further away from where the drama is, of course, there's no 100% safe place on this planet. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to move out the hood. Now, I'm not against buying some stuff in the hood, but I know for me to stay there increases the possibility of the wolves coming to get me.
So what's important about staying in the hood?
I don't know. You tell me. Somebody out there tell me. 414-231-9982. 414-231-9982.
And let me make it clear. I'm asking a question based on the fact that if you're not going to invest in the hood, if you're not going to have some sort of ownership in the hood, if you're not going to open a business, if you're not going to be an entrepreneur in the hood, what's the use? What's the positive about just renting from white people in the hood?
Well, you there. So misery loves company.
But more often than not, you there because you have to be,
right,
because it's in your price range, right?
Right.
So when everybody's decimal point moves, to the side a little bit, and they can afford to go.
As soon as I got my check, I was gone.
But go and make a better community. You know what I'm saying? Go and make a black middle class, or however you want to define it. You know what I'm saying? Make a difference.
You got to do air quotes. Right. Middle class.
I mean, because somebody gonna,
right,
take that and run, but
and we don't care.
No, not really. Give a fuck. But anyway,
he said it.
Make a difference, though. That's all.
Right.
Yeah. Because you're right. We want to get better, but we want to be better for our children, and we want to have a better place for them to be.
That's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal, is to do something for my kids.
Right. And their kids.
Right. And I want my kids to have a better life than I had.
Absolutely.
And I ain't wrong for that.
That's some good dad.
So if it's guns going off every goddamn night, and every time I park my car in the damn driveway, somebody's breaking in my shit and all this, I got the right to move. Now, the problem is if I move too far amongst those white people, then I get harassed. I get nigger go home painted on my garage.
Pulled over and shit.
Right. Every time I'm trying to come home. Right. And so there's just this line that we have to really walk in America as black people, man. And it's a shame. Once again, when I look at what Nipsey Hussle was doing for the community in South Central Los Angeles, I think it was tremendous. Mm-hmm. I think he was probably one of the more progressive rappers that we've had since Pac. And probably on some levels even more, because he actually owned his masters. He actually had established some businesses in the community. He actually had scheduled a meeting to kind of combat gang violence, but also believed that if Pac had got to 33, he would have been on the same kind of avenue.
And it's the same reason Pac didn't get to 33, that this brother, they wasn't going to let him get to Pac status.
And Pac went and kicked a known killer Crip in the head. So that tends to get you shot in California or on the West Coast.
Listen, they do a lot worse, and they be just fine.
Yeah. You got to talk to somebody who knows the streets. Even Pac's own associate said he got caught up in a conflict he should have never been involved in, and it was totally random how they caught him. You're in a 20-car entourage, and
no, I don't see my thing. I'm not banging that drum about Pac, though.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying, and because I get your point, but I'm saying again, if you would tell me that they have something to do with it, I'll tell you I don't disbelieve it.
That's why if it came out tomorrow that the government had something, now I would say I would be surprised.
I wouldn't be, huh?
I would be surprised.
Wait. What is this? What is this based on? This benefit of the doubt that you give them? What is this based on? They wouldn't do it. Why? Because they care about us. Well, because they haven't done it before.
No.
What is it? What is it based on? The great love that they're showing us now. The energy that we're getting from the prison.
First of all, I would say it's not a benefit of the doubt. Let's say that. I would say this. And I know that the United States government is the biggest most treacherous dog on the block. I'm in no way, let's get this straight. In no way, shape, form, or fashion am I denying the venomous, just beastly behavior of the United States government. And not at all. Never, ever.
Then it's in bounds.
Yes, what I'm saying is, I don't think that the scope of this, I don't think what Nipsey had going hadn't reached that crescendo yet. Now, don't get me wrong. If he's allowed to live, and maybe if there's involvement, it's preventative measure in regards to something that I don't know about. Like maybe he really actually has some kind of economic stimulus plan that would benefit Black people long term that I don't know about.
Maybe he was just bringing
I can forever be
together.
Like I can forever be corrected. Like right now, if I say I don't believe they did it, and then it comes to light that they did it, I'd be a bigger fool to say, I still don't believe it. I'm saying right now, I don't see that information to make me feel that way.
In this way, in particular, but again, who's distributing the information to you?
Well, once again, if that's the case, then shit, your ass is confused anyways, because we all get our information from the same place.
That's the whole thought process behind what the Matrix is.
This is funny to me too, that Dr. Sebi, everybody says this information is so dangerous. And that's why he got killed. But Dr. Sebi's been dead for some years. Actually, that lawsuit was in 1985, 86, right?
Something like that.
Okay, and he had all these wonderful cures, but he died from pneumonia himself. Well, that's what they told us, according to Jason. Right?
I mean, the fact that you would even believe that, you know what I mean?
It was 82. What did he die from? You think they murdered him?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So let me just get this out here. It's unbelievable to you that I would have an opinion on this, but it's not unbelievable that you.
No, it's not unbelievable that you have an opinion. I just can't wrap my mind around the thought process that
maybe he just died of natural causes at 82. It does happen.
Along with 49 other holistic healers. Yeah, no, that doesn't just
what's
happen.
Their names? I don't know them dudes.
Well, let me tell you, I put it in the 414, bro.
Right, okay.
Hey.
Go to the 414. I mean, you said it. The People's News Network. Okay, you changed the name.
I did.
The People's News Network.
It's posted in there.
Let me know what y'all think. If y'all want to call in, this number is 414-231-9982. It's Outlaw Radio. Ain't no love. And just talking about the neighborhoods that we grow up in.
Yes.
And we know a lot of times, and I hate to say it because it's a cliche, but the reality is more often than not, we're our own worst enemies. Come on, let's be honest, Black people.
Listen, that does happen too.
I just want to tell Black people, get out your chest, get out your feelings.
That does happen too. Okay. You know what I mean? I can see that. Touche.
Because I know a lot of good brothers who would have done a lot of good in the hood. They got murdered by another brother.
And sometimes
no CIA
sometimes it was just over $5.
Sometimes it was.
And that does happen.
Sometimes it was.
I can see.
Shout out to you if you're watching the show. Thank you for tuning in. Hit like, hit share, hit follow, chime in the conversation, please. We are live on YouTube. Go and subscribe to our YouTube page. There's no real footprint for Milwaukee, the 414 on YouTube. We are trying to change that. I see everybody representing on YouTube from New York, from the South, from the West, and nobody's doing it from here.
They be like, it's Black people,
Black
in
people
Milwaukee?
Well, you goddamn right.
Happy Days.
Right.
Wait, I know about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Right. So, man, please hit like, hit share, hit follow, man. Chime in the conversation. Let me know if you want the number. Some people say, I'm tired of texting. Kev, give me the number.
Hey.
Be the first one to call in.
Sure.
We're ready for you on that level. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Ain't no love on a Thursday night. And there truly is no love in the Black community. I'm sorry to say it. I have to say the things that most Black people feel, but they don't want to say. And I'm trying to tell you, your hood will kill you. You can give away chicken and fish and spaghetti and chili and toys and turkeys, and the one that murks you will look just like you. Now, I'm not saying there's not a systematic nature to what happens to us, but we are very good at going for the okie doke, taking the bait, joining in, and participating in our own genocide.
So at some point or another, we got to recognize that even some of us who look like us ain't us.
Right.
You know what I mean? I tell you all the time, I love black people who love black people. That's a prerequisite.
Right. But I think if you love something, you got to be honest with it. And that's why I do my best to be objective and subjective with black people, because black people don't need to be patted on their head and given some kind of warm glass of milk and sent to bed. They need water splashed in their face so that they will wake up.
This ain't all black people.
Okay.
It's just the black people who love black people.
Okay.
The other ones that I kill that nigga, I shoot that, they not us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they are us, though.
No, they not.
Well,
they're not us. And at some point or another, we're going to have to stop waiting for the masses. They're not all coming. Some of them like it here with massa.
So, but misguided youth are misguided youth. Lost youth are lost youth.
I mean, you know.
I can't give up. That's why I say I love the gutter. I got love for the gutter because I know at one point in my life, I wasn't straight on. I wasn't doing everything that I should have been doing. I wasn't living some kind of righteous lifestyle. I wasn't, walking around with my heart, with my my Kofi on, and I was out there doing the same shit. I was out there with my shit turned, representing my neighborhood, representing what I believed at that point to be correct. And I wasn't correct. I was wrong. And listen, let's be honest. I mean, let's tell the truth. I did damage in my own community. I participated in certain activities that damaged the community. Now, if you murk me at 20 or 22 and say, oh, well, he ain't us anyways, you'd be totally wrong, because I got the chance to redeem myself, come back and do a lot of good for the community.
And you got the chance. Now, Here's the thing. The fact of the matter.
But hold on. So I'm saying, thank God somebody didn't kill me then and just say, well, he ain't no good anyways.
No, nobody killed you, but it sounds like, you very well could have went to prison.
You damn right.
Your life is taken away anyway.
You're right.
Now you just chattel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So here's the thing. There are some good brothers, some young people out there that's doing some good things that live ideally, even despite of their circumstances. There's some people out there that's trying to do some good things too, and they get murked as well. You see what I'm saying?
But to be young is to be foolish by nature.
Not to say they don't err.
To be young is most young people make mistakes. Most young people are.
If your mistake is taking a life of another innocent person, then hey, because they didn't get the same opportunity that you begging for.
Right. Let me know how y'all feel, man. It's Outlaw Radio on a Thursday night. It's Outlaw Radio ain't no love, and I believe that. I believe that, and that's one of the biggest problems with people of color right now, that there is no love.
Well, that's our
and
issue.
Don't nobody give a shit about the next man.
Real talk.
And we don't respect each other. We don't respect our women. They don't respect us. We don't respect white people. They don't respect us. We don't respect the law. The law don't respect us. America's full of a bunch of people who just don't give a shit about nothing.
Cause and effect.
And these people have the right to bear arms.
Solution-based radio. How we fix that?
How do we fix it?
How we fix that?
Let me know how y'all
brainstorming. If it sounds ridiculous, say it anyway.
And you see, if you're from Milwaukee, you like me, you see the situation where these dirty sumbitches stole the ramp from the brother with cerebral palsy, man. Come on, man. Like, who does that, man? Stop playing with me. Listen, and I understand this dope fiend behavior. I understand that. But, we're talking about a ramp at a home for obviously an individual that has some kind of handicap. How do we in our neighborhood allow? I see this and I don't stop them, or I don't call the police, or like, how does this happen? How do you get to the point where somebody is that cold-hearted where they take this ramp from somebody who has cerebral palsy?
They ain't us. They just look like us. It's even a right way to do wrong.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Once again, so, okay, well, I'll ask this question to you. Have you always been straight up and down righteous your whole life?
No, but there were certain things I would not do.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you an example.
You didn't let me finish the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I thought you had finished. Go ahead.
I wanted to know. I don't want to vary it. I don't want it to just get. I don't want the brush to get too wide. At one point in your life, you've been in the act of doing something that you should not have been doing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everyone in the world.
And you did it intentionally and on purpose. You knew what you were doing. You said, I'm going to do this shit anyway.
Okay.
Should you have been thrown away at that point? If somebody came through and murked you, it would have been like, oh shit, man, it's cool. He wasn't shit anyways. Or should have been like, hey man, dude could have been a good brother.
You said you wanted to be narrow, but you took the broadest brush you can find. You said
okay.
sometime in your life you did something wrong.
So were you garbage?
Whether you're talking about lying or writing a bad check.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about some real shit.
Okay, so here's the thing. So the determining factor is, right? Have I ever taken another life? Right.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about self-defense. I'm talking about have you
murked somebody? As I say,
somebody else. Right?
That's how old I am. Okay. I still say murk.
So if you're talking about second chances and chances to reach different stages in life, what you've just done is took somebody else's opportunity for the very thing that you're asking for. To me, that's kind of hypocritical.
Well, I thought that every sin was forgivable. I thought that once you repent, whether it be murder, whatever, I thought that was forgivable.
That's what they say. God said, "I'm not God."
No, I'm not saying you are.
And so,
but that's what. So, do you believe in the Bible?
I believe that the Bible has a lot of truth in it. I also believe that it was plagiarized.
Okay.
And so that truth was told thousands of times before the Bible was
written. I guess my thing is I'm just not willing to say that.
But we can talk on a Bible level if you want to.
I'm just not saying. I'm not ready to say that people should just throw you away because you're making bad decisions. I mean, my
if you kill somebody, you should pay.
Where I come from, what I've done is I've worked with a lot of troubled kids, a lot of troubled youth. Mm-hmm. And in a certain instance, I probably could have been termed a troubled youth myself. And there were a lot of people who suggested that I was a total loss. Like, it's like, dude, just let him go. He ain't gonna be shit. That's him. That's his path is already predetermined. And it wasn't. And graciously, by the grace of God, I say, because I do believe in God, and I do believe in the Bible. I believe in
that was a different
some
question.
of the things. No. I'm saying,
go ahead.
I'm saying I'm so grateful that I wasn't taken out during those times.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad I got old enough to get an understanding.
Me too.
And that's why I've always worked with the troubled youngsters. I've worked with adjudicated teenage felons. I've worked with the good kids. But all of them are just babies. Youngsters are they're a blank slate. Kids ain't born hating, they're taught to hate. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
So that's why I say, and now don't get me wrong, but I'm also where you get pissed off at me about is I say some motherfuckers deserve to be locked up because they do. Right.
And I'm not saying what I'm saying is not totally different from what you're saying. If you take somebody else's life, you
should be punished.
You don't have the right to be talking about chances and shit because you.
No. You got to go pay for that.
Okay, so that's all. That's all I'm saying. So when you talk about whether or not you've done something wrong in your life, absolutely.
I guess the point I was trying to make with you is you deserve the chance to a chance at retribution. Right. Even some murderers.
More often than not. Yes.
You deserve.
There are some things so in other words, we're talking about, do you believe in the death penalty? Is what we're talking about. Because there's some things that you do that you don't deserve to live. It's certain things.
I don't think that decision is man's though.
But if you believe in the Bible,
right?
The Bible says that.
Is that what it says?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You said that like you got. I don't know.
And God killed a lot of niggas.
He said God killed a lot of niggas. 414-231-9982. Let me know what you think. Represent Milwaukee. Chime in the conversation. Just to kind of shoot it around. Congratulations to the sister who was Wanda Montgomery was elected as the Village of Brown Deer president, the first Black president of the village. Brown Deer is a suburb here. A lot of people have always called it Black Deer because it's one of the suburbs where Black people have always kind of. You get a little paper, you go to Brown Deer and get you. And actually, we're trying to move there.
You see what I'm saying?
We're trying to get to that motherfucker now. So
make a better place, create a better place wherever you can make.
Right, and that's good, man. I'm glad to see. And then the sister in Chicago. What's her name? Her name is Lori Lightfoot, who coincidentally is also a lesbian.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you felt about that. Like, does that make a difference in your city or your city, or your state officials? Do you care?
You know what? First of all, let me say this. A lot of our elected officials are gay anyways, and we just don't know.
But if they promote it or not.
Right. Right. Well, what I think when it comes to homosexuals, I think there has to be a balance of power. And I think right now in this age where we're taught so much tolerance, it's actually become beneficial for you to be a homosexual. and it's become counterproductive for you to be a heterosexual. Like I always say, I don't believe you have the right to be gay. I mean, and I don't have the right to be straight. I think I got the right to be straight. So you can't force me to accept you, and I can't force you to accept me. You can go over there with the gay people, and I'll stay over here with the straight people, and let's just move like that.
But you're not accepting me. You're accepting creation. You're accepting nature. You're accepting, you know what I mean, the natural order of progression.
Okay.
You're accepting something that's going to procreate and keep humanity going. You know what I'm saying? Which you can't say any of that. Like, this is not even a contest here.
I don't have you know what? I don't have a problem. And there was a poll that says 70% of all Americans are ready for a gay president. And I said, I thought we already had a gay president. But I was wrong.
Were you?
No.
Were you?
I always thought Barack Obama was the first gay president.
I don't know. When he was in office, they had plenty of shots with Michelle and a lot of.
I shouldn't have opened that can of worms. 414-231-9982. Yeah, let me know. Hey, we have a YouTube page. Please go and subscribe to our YouTube page. We have a bunch of shows on there. I have over 250 shows on the Spreaker page. We're live on Spreaker as well right now. And we are, I have almost 1,000 Facebook friends. So share, hit like, hit follow, give me some thumbs up, give me some love. Let me know what y'all want to talk about.
Followers?
Man, we on Instagram. We got 1,100 Instagram followers for the People's News. Right. On Twitter, we got like 200 followers, and I barely use Twitter.
Well, we're gonna have to get on that.
Get with the People's News Network, man. Let's get this thing going. Let's get momentum established. And then, you know, like we always say, we don't want to just talk about problems. We want to be solution-based.
Solution-based radio.
Because everybody can talk about the problems, but nobody has answers, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, shout out to Wanda Montgomery and Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. You know we had Harold Washington, who was the first black mayor. Harold Washington, right?
Win.
Right. So congratulations to that sister. I hope she can help Chicago. Chicago needs all the help they can get.
Really, and when I said what I said about the procreation and all of that, that's not to say that, you know, them in a position of being a city or state or government official can't do well. I hope she does well.
Right. Shout out to 3041 North. Shout out to you if you're listening. Brother, what you got over there on your conspicuous notepad, the infamous notepad?
No, right? Listen, I wanted to do a little segment, man. It's called On Blast. Right?
On Blast. Let's go. Let's get it.
On Blast. So everybody knows, if you listen to the show at all, you know I love black people who love black people. I talk about supporting black businesses all the time, and I think we should all do that as black people.
Right.
Now, there are some black businesses out there that make me feel like a fool for supporting them because they are just black, right?
Okay.
And so what I don't do is I don't support piss poor ass service. I don't support dumb ass niggerdom. And I don't support anything that's a health risk or that's nasty.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with, from around the area. They had a little local fame. It was a little nostalgia. At one point, this place was the officially the unofficial soul food place of the Packers, right, and all of that.
Okay.
And so if you ever ate at the Bungalow,
it
was a place I used to like to go as a kid, get some soul food. And so because of nostalgia's sake, I rolled up in there recently.
Okay.
And it was just nasty. The waitress was nasty, rude. Let me tell you, we ordered the food. The food was mediocre. Like, I could have lived with that. But before she came to us, I heard her stop at the table before us and say, "I lost y'all tickets. Your bill was about 30." So I was a little concerned at that point that what she was going to say when she got to our table. When she got to our table, she brought me a ticket, a bill that had food on it. And the food dripped on the table, and we all looked, and we looked at her, and she said, "I was eating."
No shit,
dude, for real. So, and then left the bill there. We took the bill and took a napkin and wiped the bill off, right?
Wow.
So we put the money down with the bill. Now this bitch came back and picked up the bill with her 2 fingers. This is your shit. Like it's nasty because of us.
Right.
So anyway, I was all upset that somebody at the table
did you tip her?
Left her a tip. Hell no, I didn't, and was mad. Like, why the hell did you tip her? So you got a tip, but this time I'm gonna put your ass on blast.
Right.
The Bungalow, that shit was foul. Your food was mediocre. Your facilities was nasty. Your customer service sucked. and so now you on blast.
And the bungalow is a an institution here in Milwaukee.
That's why I was disappointed.
And I know the original owners, I think they've passed away. And I know that they had problems in the family. Like one of the kids actually murdered one of the other kids. Like one of the sons murdered the other son.
Okay.
A couple years back.
Very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's so it's one of those things, and they were wanted to pass it along to their children, and
well, somebody help them.
Yeah, well, apparently they need some help. Brother Jason said, "Don't go to the bungalow because it's nasty." Right? What did you order? What did you order?
I didn't eat it. I don't remember. Like I don't know.
You don't even remember what you ordered?
I think I ordered some fish.
Okay.
Again, here's the thing: the food I ate, it wasn't even a problem. Like I've had better. You know what I'm saying? The food was what it was. I don't eat a lot of soul food like that. No, you know what I mean? Anyway, so it was all right.
Right.
But again, man, you can't be nasty, man. You can't be come on, man.
Right.
Don't do that.
Get your customer service up.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right.
And don't be rude and come on, man.
What else you got, man? What else you got?
I don't know,
the
man.
Bungalow's on blast, y'all.
Yeah, they on blast.
Let me know if you had a negative experience with the bungalow.
Or a positive one. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I came at a bad time and a bad day and a bad month.
When she was working. Right?
Yeah. So just a couple of things. We was talking about conspiracies, right?
Right.
So what about I know you've seen the post about the boy who supposedly accidentally drowned and had no organs.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
I seen
that. And so again, that was something that happened in 2011.
Right.
And again, it got no media coverage and so on and so forth. So again, this is the place that we get our information from.
Right.
But they didn't cover it. So anyway, they're looking into it again now. And so you don't think in order to maintain.
Now that's a slippery slope. Do I believe that there's some organ harvesting?
Yeah, okay. Well said.
I do believe that because in a day and time where we know stem cell research is very big, and we know that we live in a society where science and technology has allowed us to harvest organs and pass them along to other people. Right?
Yeah.
And we know that there's some people who are just ridiculously ugly, nasty, stupid rich. And they have enough money to bypass you on that list. If you're on the donor list to say, look, bro, I got 2 million cash. I needs a kidney. Right. And the way to circumvent the paperwork and do that kind of thing is to get on black market and get you a kidney off the black market. So I do believe that there is some organ harvesting going on.
Now, in order to maintain something like that in secrecy, wouldn't it take kind of a bit of a network?
Of course, yeah.
So you might want to reconsider whether or not you are a conspiracy theorist or not.
No. Once again, I've never said that there aren't certain things where conspiracies have been, executed. First of all, you'd be dumb to say with black people, with people of color in this country, you'd be dumb to believe that there's been no pre-established plans, premeditated executions. Like that would be short-sighted, and that would be very silly for me to say. What I don't do is I don't attribute every single thing that happens to a conspiracy. Like if my son flunks English, he flunked English. I'm not gonna say, "Dude, them white people don't want him to know English. They're trying to hold us down." No, you need to do your work, boy.
I get that, but it always is always in play.
Right.
It's always in play. Okay. So even we talk about, the murders, they actually coming to get us if you think about it. Now you heard about the cannabis doctor, Dr. Kay Forbes. They found her dead. She's the one that went up against the big pharma, and then you had like I mentioned earlier, you had the 50 holistic doctors that mysteriously died within a year. You got all the young black people from Ferguson.
The protesters
all coming up found dead.
Yeah.
It's definitely a conspiracy, brother. It's definitely happening. On the local level, though, man, did you hear about the parking checker that got stabbed?
I did, and that's Milwaukee.
Again, I don't mean to laugh. That's foul.
Nah, I'm not laughing either, but I am laughing. Fuck that. No, I am laughing. I am.
How you gonna laugh at the dude? He was trying to make his quota. Performance level.
Let me tell you something. the parking laws and parking enforcement in Milwaukee is bullshit.
For
anyway.
sure, they bullshit. I used to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So come on, son. Look, you charge me property taxes. I pay sales taxes. I pay a luxury tax. I pay a wheel tax at the DMV. Right. And then you got the raw nerve. Because first of all, if repairs need to be done on the streets, I have to pay for them.
Right.
And then you got the, as Stephen A. Smith would say, the unmitigated gall to charge me because I fell asleep and left my car parked on
from 2 to 6. They gonna get you,
and we'll tow your shit.
Oh, for sure, if they get a chance.
And then charge you to get your shit out.
Listen, that and every ticket you owe, and $75 a day.
I'm trying to say, I'm surprised this just happened. I'm surprised that this just.
Let me tell you, me too. I was a parking checker.
Okay.
When they shot at me, I updated my resume the next morning.
Bitch, I quit.
Nigga, I'm this ain't even my money.
Right.
Yeah, but no, let me tell you, on that, there's some racist ass shit. It depends on your alderperson. Your alderperson sit around and they decide how much money gets extracted from your area before it even happens.
Okay.
So they tell you it ain't no quota. They call it a performance level. But let me tell you, when I did it, I wouldn't tow no black people's cars.
Okay.
Right? Because I would I got to give them the ticket because I got to do my job and keep my job. But I wouldn't tow. They got, your toolbox in the back seat. You got to go to work in the morning.
Right.
The baby seat in the car. Like, I wouldn't do it.
Left my weed in the car.
Them motherfuckers came to me and gave me 3 pages. Like, these are all the cars you didn't tow. Go back and tow them. Get them.
Watching your ass.
They want their money. That's big pimping.
Look, I hope he or she survived.
I do too.
And look,
because I know you was just doing your job.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That only goes so far.
I laughed. I don't wish ill on nobody, especially somebody who's at work.
Yes.
I don't wish ill on you.
Trying to earn a dollar.
But it's just one of them situations where if the laws are unjustified, then I got an issue with the motherfucker that perpetuates the laws. I got an issue with the person that enforces the law.
Represents them, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I see you just doing my job. Yeah, but your job is just based on some foul shit.
You gotta know when they sending you to do some bullshit too.
Right.
Like, come on, man. That shit only goes so far. Like, I understand, when you realize that sometimes it take you a while to understand the game and whatnot. When you do, move around.
Milwaukee's crazy. Let me tell you something. And this is. We spent a greater portion of this show discussing the Nipsey Hussle murder.
We did.
And I said I don't necessarily believe that there was a conspiracy. If some evidence comes out that states otherwise, I'd be the first one to say, damn, you know what? That's some shit right there. But just looking at it from all the angles that I've been privy to and looking at the footage and looking at how this thing was done, I just don't see anything that would suggest to me that this was a conspiracy. I think it's very unfortunate. I think it's the latest in a long line of us and what Malcolm called the hate that hate made. I think it's, Cube said us, all we care about is hairstyles and tennis shoes, right? So I felt that way, but I seen because the weather's warmed up here. We've seen that we had at the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning, where the kids is just ape shit bouncing off the walls, fighting and people yelling and screaming like, we got to get the school under control and yada, yada, yada. And I still don't think enough accountability has been placed on the community and the homes and the families that these kids come from. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I believe that. And if you say, but he ain't call the police on me, then who raised you? You got to think about my kids should know. I bet not never call the police on daddy. Because I'm the type of father that will tell the city or the county or the state, if I can't discipline him or her, I can't raise them. Therefore, you can have them. Now, if what you were shooting for is to be in foster care and maybe you get adopted by Mr. Drummond and the world don't move to the beat of just one drum, so be it. I'm just saying.
Right.
I can love you from over here. When you call home, I'm just as sad, Daddy. I miss you too, man. But you set this shit in motion. All you had to do was go to school and sit your ass down. So I put in the People's News Network a post of a teacher in Abaco, Bahamas.
Right. Oh, whooping all.
But he was whooping ass.
It was a lady.
Okay, she had a belt and she was whooping ass. Ass was popping like popcorn.
Let me tell you, I would have tried to choke her, the life out of her. Whooping my. Let me tell you, because again, like clearly, all the kids wasn't in the same boat. They wasn't the same level of discipline was not required. One of the kids, I guess, was even sleeping. You know what I mean? And she whooped him and said, because you was in the room.
Right.
No.
So we do solution-based radio, and I want to ask people, should we bring back corporal punishment in the schools? Now, see, my issue with this is I don't want certain individuals physically reprimanding my kids because I don't know what the hell's going on in their life.
Okay.
That's right. So
maybe if we do some sort of community-based schooling where, the teachers in your community have to be from your community and live in your community, right? And you can get to know them as individuals and know their families and that sort of thing, maybe in a situation like that. But as it stands, hell no.
Because I looked at the comments in the People's News Network and I just kind of ran through them, and there was just all these people saying, that's what the hell them badass kids get. And then there was other people saying, that's some bull. I would take my kids out that school, even to the point where some people said, shit, she'd have had to see me.
No, that's me.
She'd have had to see me.
No, that was a little extra
right. Kids are so bad now, man. The weather changed.
I thought I heard somebody say, Kunta, Kobe, Kunta.
Well, they're fighting in Family Dollar. They fighting in the schools. They fighting in the streets. How do we get our community back under control? I think somebody's making a comment. Let me know if somebody's making a comment, because I can't. As usual, I'm unprepared. My phone is.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
Right, I'm not. I really actually like myself. Who is that? And
Keith Terry.
Oh, my brother.
The money should be utilized where it is collected. Inner city, urban ticket money should stay in the zip code. I'm with that. Put a lock on the site money. Even all the fines for crimes should have a lock on the money also.
Hey, I believe that.
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Terry know what he's talking about.
No,
shout out to Mr. Terry.
I'm with that.
Yeah. And shout out to 3041 North, man. Make sure if you got an event, a wedding, an engagement party, you just want to party and shake your ass, 414-810-3131. But Mr. Terry is also very good about political forums. And I've seen him donate his whole space to political forums and political candidates so that we can have the right representation downtown. Once again, it's 414-810-3131. You see the logo. We ride with it. And he's a great supporter of the show. So shout out to Mr. Terry. And if you got a business, if you're black, if you're a person of color and you have a business or something that you'd like to promote, I do it on here for no charge. I'm not trying to get rich off of going live on Facebook, right? Whatever I got coming to me, I'm gonna get, and whatever I'm supposed to have, I'm never gonna be without. So if you have something that you'd like to promote, just shoot it to me, man. It's free.
Love.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you got this banner hanging here, but Mr. Terry, I want to promote your business. No problem. Here you go, Kev. Right. This is Outlaw Radio, which is my logo. This is the original Black Panthers of Milwaukee, who also support and love.
Shout out.
So it's no problem for them to be up there either.
Right.
But I'm just saying we can come up with creative ways to promote your business, man. Teamwork make the dream work, man. Right. And hating keeps you from elevating. So you got to know about that. But no, I was talking about the kids getting their ass whooped in school. I wanted to know how y'all felt about it. I wanted to know if you supported that, because I know my parents grew up getting beat down in school, but when I was in school, my mother didn't play that shit. If the teacher had to hit me, all hell would have broke loose.
It was a different caliber of people,
right,
and a teacher going on. You know, things were a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you don't know who these people are, what kind of issues they have. So,
what you smoking?
I'm not in favor of that at this point. Now,
smoke whatever you want to in my house, as long as you let me hit.
I'm with being. All right, it'd be huffing paint and shit.
Oh shit! Shout out to Robert Miranda and Flack.
Yeah.
Robert Miranda was supposed to be with us tonight, but they came up with this because they've been putting on the city's heels about this water.
Get them.
And Robert Miranda and Flack and Chris Johnson and Kingfish MKE have put boots on the backs of the city, and they had the community resource fairs to help you deal with the elevated lead levels and getting tested and getting filters and stuff.
But there's no problem.
But we're gonna have a special show with Robert coming up, and you'll see it. We'll have Robert's gonna come to the beautiful Chocolate City Studios, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna make it do what it do. And I want this brother to get some shine, because he's been very effective in the way he's gone after the city of Milwaukee and the powers that be. They've been fraudulent about this water.
He's been relentless at him, man.
On your ass.
Yeah.
Right. They say upside your head or either up your ass 7 ways from Sunday.
Or both.
That man, right. That man has been, he's done his he put in the work. So shout out to him. Let's see what else. I mean, I got some other stuff. What you got over there?
No, I was gonna ask the snob a question, man, to give the people some suggestions.
Okay.
For some adult contemporary hip hop.
Okay. Now when you talk about contemporary, are you talking about hip hop music that's out now? That's new hip hop that you can go and listen to and it's still good, or are you talking about retro hip hop that we should be kind of bringing back with like a playlist or something?
I'm talking about like, there's a stigma, and I don't know whether you agree with it or not, but in the Black community, and when you talk about hip hop, when you get to be a certain age,
right,
you shouldn't rap no more.
That type of shit.
But Mick Jagger is like 96, right?
They just had to postpone the show because they too old. He's on stage.
But
like,
nobody tells him like you too old. You know what I mean? So
he's selling out Soldier Field. So
that's my point. That's my point. Well, so if the cat can come to Potawatomi and sell it out, I don't care if he's 45. He should still.
But you know what? I'm sorry, but the Legends of Hip Hop, that tour has been going on now for about 5 years, and they have a circuit, and they're coming here.
Yes.
It's a show with 8Ball and MJG and E40 and Too Short, all of the great Scarface and all of them.
Right.
So I would definitely suggest that.
But I won't. But it's cats out there like that making new music.
They are, and more often than not, what happens is artists have a window of opportunity to make albums, to make studio albums, right? Because let's face it. There's no such thing as an artist who has never lost his or her shine. Like you only get so much time, right?
Oh yeah, that's why they grind while they got it.
Yeah, and usually artists, the majority of the money they make comes from shows.
For sure.
Their ability to tour, and there was a lull in it, but now there's global activity for hip hop artists from our generation. They tour and they stay on the road and they make money and they get paid. And then that
went away for a long time.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't there.
So the market shrinked up as far as new artists that was being signed and so on and so forth. So
new artists are coming off every day. It was just like people, you have to show the industry that there's an audience for them, or they won't. Like I see De La Soul right now because of the record deal that they signed with Tommy Boy. They're saying that Tommy Boy will still even when you digitize it. We know the streams and all this is the new way because people don't really purchase physical albums anymore.
Right.
It's all about those streams.
Absolutely.
And Tommy Boy still owns, because of the deal that they signed, would take a majority of their profit. So they were complaining about it, and people were really going hard on Tommy Boy about these just crazy contracts artists used to just sign away they publishing and all this kind of stuff. And just the rights to their music, they don't get royalties. And you think, well, you sold 1 million records, you should be rich for life. And that's not the way the music industry works.
Not at all.
So we have to show them that there's an audience for that. And I think what they've discovered is those artists, Too Short, E40 still making albums, first of all.
Okay.
E40 still making music. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to adult contemporary hip hop, even because first of all, urban music is the biggest genre of music right now. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to even like 98.3 here, you'll hear a lot more classic hip hop than you used to.
Right.
Because that's the move now towards, playing that classic golden era hip hop.
Absolutely.
Because there was so much more diversity in rap in the days of past.
Stuff, you know what I mean? Back
right. Everybody wasn't a gangster. The gangster rap had its run. But, there was a Tribe. There was an X-Clan. There was Public Enemy. There was BDP. There was De La Soul. There was Hammer. Mm-hmm. There was Luke. There was, the Miami with the Miami bass. And, you had down south rappers. The southern rap with 8Ball, and you had Ghetto Boys and the Bay Area. So many different flavors that hip-hop used to take on. But, see, we don't really own hip-hop really anymore. It's the powers that be own hip-hop. Mm-hmm. So now what you get is cultural homogenization, which means that if you go platinum doing one thing, then the next, what I'm looking for as a competing record label is to do that same thing. So if Young Thug goes platinum and he got on a skirt, now I'm looking for my rapper who is willing to wear a skirt. Thus, the emergence of several rappers walking this blurred line of gender, and it becomes this ambiguous, what they used to androgyny, like they had in the 80s with rock, where you see like these dudes had on eyeliner. Boy George was a boy girl, right? Mm-hmm. And the record company said he sold how many records? Shit, who want to wear this skirt? Somebody said I wear it. So, but when it comes to hip hop,
it was like, niggas, come here.
With hip hop, I just think we have to demand more classic hip hop. And it's not that music they're making is not for us. Kodak Black is not made for me.
That's
Lil Yachty is not made for me.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff, because it's not made with me in mind. It's made for the youngsters. But I need to put my dial on a station that's gonna play the music that was made for me. Who's that? I can't.
What up, Chris?
Oh, that's Chris Johnson or Chris Townsend. Oh, my brother Chris Townsend.
Yeah.
What'd he say? I'm Chris represent.
33 years old when he died. 33 degrees of masonry today. Before the LAPD Summit snitch released, it confronted him. Set up. Perfect scenario to make it seem like a gang-related crime. I'm not into conspiracies, but somebody conspired to do something.
Hey, shout out to Chris Townsend, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's what's up. That's let me know how you feel. So you with Brother Jason, my grandma used to say, it's a fly in the buttermilk.
Hey, some don't smell right.
Right. Once again, I don't believe it was a conspiracy, but I do. Listen, I will say this, though. I do believe the timing of this is coincidental, right? I do believe the day before he was supposed to meet and negotiate, some anti-gang violence. I do believe that due to the fact that this brother was really developing his community, created a target on his back. I think he had become bigger than the music. I will not deny that. But in this case, I think it was just random hate and random jealousy and self-hate and mental illness.
And that's what will be reported until 20 years down the line when everybody who was involved is safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then we'll find out it happened and just the way we thought it did. People still don't know that MLK won a civil suit, his family, you know what I'm saying?
Right, people aren't aware of that.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and they in that civil suit, they proved collusion between the government and,
exactly.
his death. Yeah.
And then here's the thing. Who went to jail?
Right. James Earl, the poor white trailer trash.
But they proved that he didn't do it. So or that he wasn't alone in doing it. There were others.
There was some going on.
Right. And so again, man, like I'm not willing to wait 25 years before we find if it don't smell right. I'm gonna go with my instincts, and not to mention their history says that they do this kind of thing. It's in their playbook.
I'm not here to argue with that.
That's my opinion.
Once again, don't get me.
I was wrong once before.
Don't get me wrong when I say that I don't believe Nipsey Hussle's murder was a conspiracy, because I don't. But that doesn't mean that I don't accept that we as people of color have been conspired against. Once again, I am not that dumb to say that. And even though
stop with Malcolm,
even though we know that the Willie Lynch theory was proven to be wrong, like Willie Lynch never existed, it's been proven to be false. The plan of separating these slaves and keeping us against each other, if it wasn't Willie Lynch, it was somebody, right? So yeah, I would never be so stupid as to say, that they wouldn't dare conspire against us, Jason. That'd be dumb.
Keith Terry said we need to invite Killer Mike.
Hey, if we can, I would love to do that, my brother. Hey, listen, that would be beautiful.
Hey,
we'd have to come up with a plan and tell Keith we can talk about it. I'm down, and I would love to hear the brother talk.
The show.
And we can get him on the show. Hopefully, if we can get him here. I know brothers like that charge a very hefty fee, right? And Killer Mike might be different. He might just come if he got time. He might come. I don't know.
We got pizza.
Look, that was dirty. That was dirty. I've reached out to so many of these activists, right? Because you remember when we did security for Umar.
Yeah.
And Umar initially said, yeah, well, I'll come and be on your show. Yeah, brother, for sure. No doubt. That's what I do.
Publicist.
So I called him. And they was like, hold on. Never answered the phone and shit. And I reached out to some other brothers and they said, thousands of dollars. I was like, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm good. I'm just going to talk my shit and get off the air, right?
We'll find somebody that sounds like you.
Right, man. Right.
Anybody do impressions, y'all call us.
Right. If you can do a good Killer Mike on the phone, you call in, I'll hook it up to the switchboard. Yeah, this Killer Mike. We don't know what he sounds like, so it could be Killer Leroy. We don't know. But he's definitely right. I would love to hear Killer Mike come to Milwaukee and just, come here and give us his input on some of the socioeconomic conditions that we face. And just to, we know here, like, it's funny that I'm a brother from Milwaukee who says that he doesn't believe in conspiracies, when I know I come from a city where the racist power structure base was established a long time ago to intentionally deal with us. And we know redlining and all this kind of thing. And look at just the way our city is systematically segregated. And gentrification cometh, y'all. You got to be aware. Don't be no square, because it's coming.
It's opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If we know we're getting the hell out of here, we can go someplace and make it better.
Right.
We got Chris Townsend, man. Said Illuminati do stuff in plain sight. They ain't scared of shit. They already know people don't believe it, so they'll keep doing it with I guess they feel that makes for good debate. Keith Terry said we should invite him to the 3041 North during DNC, and we can work with our fee also.
That's what's up. Hey, Keith,
sound good
look,
to me.
If anybody gonna make it happen, it's gonna be Keith Terry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very good idea, Keith, that we should be doing some collectively as Black people when the Democratic National Convention comes here, to make the Black Caucus say, damn, I got to go over here too. So, hey, this is why I roll with 3041 North. This is why this man is who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the best of both worlds when you deal with Outlaw Radio, which is the truth, unfiltered, solution-based radio, not politically correct in any way, and a real true businessman with a plan and who has a long track record of doing for his community with Mr. Terry. Shout out to 3041 North. Shout out to Chris Townsend, man. Unless you got something, I'm ready to party a little bit, kick it, hang out. We had a good show. I got started a little bit late. My son is a hooper, so I'm trying to kind of, get him back on track to where he needs to be. So, I was doing daddy time, man. Because one thing I always say is, instead of me marching and protesting and doing all these kinds of crazy things, I figured it out. The best thing I could do as a Black man, if I want to help people, is raise my own and take care of my own.
Control what you can.
And raise my kids.
Yes,
and try to create productive citizens who will be able to bring something to the table.
Real talk.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's my contribution to society. See if we got anybody else who want to drop something in. I can't see him. I got to plug this thing up. You got anybody else?
Let's see. Hey, Chris, good looking out, man. Love.
Man, for sure. Chris Townsend, that's my man, 50 grand right there.
Yes, sir.
Once again, I want to say rest in peace to Lawrence Fat Man Hennings. Man, I don't even know. Your loss can't be. I can't even I can't put it into words. And I'm my heart is heavy because, like I said, we just lost Trail last year, and we lost Big Larry too, who was their father. And my prayers for Miss Henning, man. And it's always crazy when you lose somebody, and especially in our peers. But I noticed that from my Capital Drive conglomerate, a lot of us have passed over the last few years from health conditions. I want to try to make a commitment. That's something else that Mr. Terry and Ms. Brown is doing right now with eating healthy and doing better. And I want everybody to know I'm fully committed to it. Like I have a lot of bad habits, as you can tell. I ain't no stranger to no sandwich.
Next show we'll talk about it.
Right. Well, right. We will talk about it. Right.
Yeah.
Two plural dudes, plural. Like, right.
Who, me?
Right. Goodbye, son.
Hey, Melvin Clark.
Oh, Vinny. Yes. One of my science partners, no doubt, man.
Thank you, sir.
No doubt. And like I say, man, we do have a Facebook page, man. Please subscribe to the Facebook page.
Go look at some of the past shows. There's some guests on there.
Oh, yeah.
Some interviews you might be interested in. I'm sure you will be, actually. Go check it out.
What is this?
Now you're going to have to do what I've been trying
No, I can't.
To put your glasses on.
No, well, I don't need them.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
not blind like you. But yeah, man, much love to you. If you tuned in, if you hit like, if you hit share, if you hit follow, support 3041 North, support Outlaw Radio, man.
Yes.
It's like I always say, man, I hope in life that you are able to get everything you want. Mm-hmm. But I hope you want everything you get.
Yes, sir.
Be careful what you pray for. Your wishes might come true.
All right.
I want to sign off first on my YouTube page. Peace. Hey, y'all go subscribe to that page, man. Let's help Milwaukee represent on YouTube. Let's get a footprint for our city on here. Like, we got to stop sitting shit out.
Support the movement.
Right. People shouldn't be saying, I didn't know Black people in Milwaukee. They should be saying, I seen that shit on YouTube. Them motherfuckers up there clowning.
Hey,
right?
For sure.
So I'm going to sign out on that first.
Yes.
Let me end my stream on there. Oh, yes. End the stream.